Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Talkin' Down. My name's Adam. I'm joined by my constant co-hosts Stephen and Michael today. Stephen, how are you doing?
I guess I'm doing about as well as I can since we're recording on a Monday. Kind of weird.
It is a little weird, but you know what? It's worth it. Michael, how are you today?
Good, good. It is indeed a Monday, and I'm feeling it.
Yeah.
I'm here and ready to rumble.
Okay. Well, we're rumbling with four today. Uh, I can introduce her, or you can introduce your wife. That makes the most sense.
Sure, why don't I? That would make the most sense, I suppose. This is my wife, Laura. She's on our team and going to be doing some content for us as well. So, Laura, how you doing?
I'm doing good. I appreciate that you guys are here on a Monday so that I can be a part of things. Thank you for flipping your schedule around. I appreciate that. It's not a Monday for me. I have Mondays off, so my day's been great.
Hey,
It's kind of nice.
I wish I did. That'd be
There we
great.
go. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited to start making content. This is the first TCG I've ever played, and so I feel like there's a lot of space for content specifically targeted towards people that have not played games and don't really understand like the little nuances that you have. So I'm kind of excited to start creating content that kind of creates that kind of space for us newbies.
Get like onboarding kind of stuff. Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah, kind of. So Mike Larson, who was here, I think that was he here last week? 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago, yeah.
Him and I are gonna try to make stuff that are kind of like going over like archetypes and what does an aggro deck look like? What does a control deck look like? And kind of help people understand how the decks work so that you can have a better understanding of what you enjoy playing. And then eventually we're hoping to get into building things like what makes a card good. And if a card is good, do you build your deck around that? You know, kind of like how do you piece things together? Because that's one thing when I first started, I feel like I leaned on Michael a lot and was like, this leader looks fun, build me a deck. And I did a lot of net decking, which is great. But I feel like kind of understanding the basics of what works and how it works and why it works is something that I feel like has taken me a really long time to understand. So I'm hoping we can kind of create something around that kind of is just a good space for people to learn, especially because I feel like I talked to a lot of people in Vegas where like one guy, he came in from the UK and it was just him. Like he didn't have anyone travel with him. And he said that he has some people that play where he's at, but not a lot. And so something like if a person wants to get into this but doesn't have as strong of a community as we have, like what are the best ways to learn? And I feel like creating content for that can be super beneficial.
Oh yeah, for like we're very lucky to have such a great community that shows up week in, week out. And it's like,
yeah,
I don't know, I probably wouldn't even be playing the game if it didn't have even close to half of what we have sometimes. So
for sure.
Yeah, so you said you hadn't played a TCG before this, so that's awesome.
No. Yeah, I dabbled a little bit with Commander just because Michael has played that in the past, so he like taught me the basics, and I've played like maybe a handful of times, so I kind of understood card games to a point, but I never was.
You played a couple of games of like mono white weenies in Magic back in the day and crushed Doug.
I had that like disgusting beginner's luck.
No?
With Magic Commander, I feel like I always had that where I was like, I have no idea what I'm doing, and I'm just chaos, but it's working, and I loved it.
Sounds like you need to play Vader.
Yeah.
Vader is just mono
it's just
white
chaos. so many units.
Yeah, it is. It's mono white weenies in space.
Yeah.
Yeah. When Michael heard about this game, he was like, "It's Magic, but Star Wars," and I was like, "Star Wars? Yes, yes." So that's kind of how I'm a big Star Wars fan. So I feel like anything that I get to do that is semi Star Wars, I'm sold. So it's kind of a fun little thing for Michael and I to do together.
That's good.
Yeah, I think that's what's attractive to this game for a lot of people is just Star Wars. I know there's been kind of Star Wars kind of games previous to that, but I think they were a lot more under the radar. They weren't as nearly noticed, I guess. And this
Yeah.
feels like a lot more of a natural and simplistic card game as opposed to some of the other stuff where it felt like there was a lot more tracking. You had to have a lot more space. This feels a lot more conventional. And
I agree.
so you have a lot more people that are just playing their first TCG because it's Star Wars and it
Yeah.
looks simple enough for them.
I think they nailed it because it's Star Wars. People like Star Wars, like you're saying. It's simple, but it's simple in a good way. It's way simpler than Magic. And it's much more in line with Hearthstone or something like that.
Yeah, I found it to be really easy to get the hang of, and it was more appealing because there wasn't like Magic has like 30 years of history that you have to kind of like learn and figure out. Where with this, kind of getting in on the ground floor, it felt less overwhelming.
Yeah, you're learning with everybody. And
Yeah.
what I think the ultimate thing I've like learned about this is like if I could probably get someone to experience 2 turns of this game, I think I could get them hooked most of the time.
Yeah.
The interactive back and forth, even if the turn 1 is kind of,
incredible.
turn 1 is, even if it's not involved, it's like, okay, I can fundamentally pick this up within 3 turns. And then after that, it's just keyword learning and interactions. But,
Yeah.
I completely agree, and
Well, that's like
that's why I think that simplicity is simple in a good way.
yeah.
Like, simple in a really good way, because you can have
Yes.
simple in a bad way pretty easily with a card game. But this is like simple, but it doesn't feel simple when you're playing it. Like it doesn't feel like you're playing an easy game because it's not easy. It's just it's just like you just dip in really easily.
It's got a low floor but also a high ceiling.
Exactly.
Yes.
And that's the sweet spot.
Yes.
And a lot of, as you get more involved with the game, it becomes so much more about like truly knowing the lines you can take within the cards you have and the cards you're presented with, and just straight up matchup knowledge. And it's something that you always have to be like thinking about at least a little bit. It takes up a lot of time if you really wanted to, but also at the end of the day, the other part is sometimes some decks will just stick to one game plan so well that you don't always have to account for that. So
well, and that was one reason I got into the first deck I ever played was Leia, and I feel like that was a really good like I had my like course of action, and that's kind of what I did. And there wasn't a lot of like there was thinking that had to go into it, but it didn't feel super complicated. And so it was a really easy way to feel like I was actually doing something without creating a deck that felt like I had to think and think and think. Like it felt like a good play.
yeah, solid Rebel plan out the gate in set 1 was, it just
Leia was.
It was really good.
Sorry, go ahead. Yeah, it was really good. It was step 1, play a rebel. Step 2, play fleet lieutenant. Step 3, play for a cause, pray.
Yeah.
Hit with cool leader.
Yeah, right. Attack multiple times.
She was such a cool like showcase too. Like they did her so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, she's cool. I wish she didn't fall off.
Yeah.
But I get it. I mean, Sabine is Sabine, and
until about 7 months from now, she will probably remain to be Sabine.
Yep.
Unfortunately, but there could be worse things, really. Yeah, I mean, other than the content you're looking forward to make, like, what was the reason you wanted to be like you wanted to make content with everybody? Obviously here, and like, was there? I don't know how I'm asking this.
So. No, I'll just answer. I'll just send us in a direction. So, Minnesota was a really cool experience for me because I've never been a part of anything like this before. Like I'm not somebody that has hobbies like this. And so going to a place where
you do now.
I do now, but to go to a place where you're surrounded by several hundred people that are all interested in the same thing was really cool. And it was like, I felt this, like, I just want to like make connection with more people, and I want to be out there, and I want to meet more people in the game. I want to help more people in the game, and I want to see if I can get more people involved. So driving home from Minnesota, the people in the car, like Michael and I and the other people in the car, were kind of just starting to have a conversation about okay, how can we like get more involved? And this was one of the first things that I thought of. And a lot of it was just because there's a ton of content out there on YouTube, but I feel like all of the content out there is created by people that have played TCGs before. And so I was just really hopeful in that, like, man, if I could get in onto this and be a beginner that's still kind of learning how TCGs work, creating the content for that to be able to connect with more people. Like Minnesota really was like the point where I was like, okay, I want to be more involved. And then coming back from Vegas, I was like, okay, I really have to be involved. Like, I got to do something. This is so cool to be a part of something. Like Vegas was wild to be there with so many people. Like, we're all here doing the same thing and we all freaking love Star Wars. Like, that was such a cool experience for me. So I'm really excited to just like try to expand the community a little bit more. And I do feel like we have an amazing community here locally. And I'm really kind of excited to show that off a little bit. Because I feel like we are a very welcoming, very friendly community, and to kind of spread that out a little bit, I'm pretty excited for that part of it.
Well, I mean, so much so you took on to be a judge. Isn't that what you're working on now too? Yep. So I'm a judge apprentice, and I've kind of been in contact with some people, to start doing some of like the casual tier judging. And I'm hoping we're gonna head to Lincoln on, I think it's the 13th of September. Yeah, just about a month from now.
I'm hoping to connect with some of the judges there and kind of get into that community a little bit better. And my hope is, fingers crossed, we'll see how the time plays out, but my hope would be to be up to a level 3 judge as fast as I can to hopefully be a part of the judge community in Vegas next year. Now, I don't know how possible that is. I feel like if I push for it, I could move through pretty fast. But some of too what made me curious about judging, I had a lot of fun playing in the big event, but there was also a part of me that was like, I hit a point where I was doing so poorly that I kind of ended the day feeling really sad. And so it was like, what's a way that I can be a part of this if I'm not feeling strong enough, like a strong enough competitor to go play in those big events? How can I still be a part of the community and still play the game and have fun without feeling like I have to be super competitive? And then if I'm trying and I fail, like where's a safe middle ground where I can land? And that was some of what sent me into the judge track as well. And we don't have, we've got a couple of judge apprentices in Omaha. I don't know if we have a level 1.
No, I don't believe we do.
We don't?
No.
So it'd be kind of fun to have someone locally that has that kind of piece of it too. Have a little more support, put us on the map a little bit more too. I think that's
we can
really
get a
cool.
TQ in this.
Yeah, one day that would be awesome to have.
That would be awesome. If we could find the space to host one of those, I would help run one of those. That would be awesome.
No kidding. If anybody watching wants to just send this to somebody at FFG.
Yes, please. I mean,
please.
I'm happy that at least, this will be our second official Nebraska PQ up in about a month.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
at least that's something.
But like not too far from us, Ankeny has gotten 2 PQs every set since set 2. So like it's I'm sure there's stuff we have to go through to get there, but I think
we're on our way.
Omaha is a better location than Lincoln as well, because
I would agree.
Like, Lincoln is that extra just little ways for a lot of that player core to travel. Like it's less convenient for Lincoln, right? But Lincoln, it's a 50-minute drive or so. Ankeny, it'll be about 2.5. Kansas City is still 3, as opposed to you're pushing 4 hours for those other places, which is like just that little bit more to like discourage people of I don't want to do that, because at least in the Midwest mentality, 3 hours is like, oh yeah, easy.
Yeah.
Like 3 hours,
Yeah. I can do 3 hours there and back in the same day. That's easy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
I mean, we've done that.
I've just traveled an entire day of work to get there and back,
Yeah.
And then played a card game for 10 hours.
And then left.
I
think did it again on the way back.
Getting there is the easy part. It's the burnt out brain and trying to get home. I still remember that first day in Minnesota. I had brought a book and was like, I'm gonna read at the end of the day, and I'm gonna have a nice relaxed evening. And we got back to the hotel, and I sat in the bed, and it was like, My brain is so spent. I don't even know what's happening on the TV right now. So to play that long and then have to drive myself home, that's a no. Not if we're more than 3 hours.
Just to touch on basically what you're talking about, events like that, not even Worlds, but like Minnesota, like A, I had super FOMO, but like B, that is what to me is what card games are about. Like that, I mean, winning is super cool if you really enjoy it. It can be super a highlight for every individual. Well, not everybody, but you know, like
I love the tie. It's great.
No, you don't. Well, I guess you love the tie bracket, I guess, but
I'm totally kidding. I'll do anything to not be in the tie bracket.
Fair. Yeah, I used to go to like Pokemon regionals to just be at the regional. Like I wouldn't play a game of Pokemon that weekend, but it was fun seeing that many people in one place that doing something I care about, enjoying something I like, you know.
Well, I agree. I think that something I've had to learn just for me personally was to not take losing so seriously.
Yeah.
And that was something I learned. Thank God, somehow, somewhere in my like early 20s, I figured out how to not be an asshole and like lose kind of gracefully or something.
Yeah.
But so like going to these events, I mean, I didn't do great at any of them. I dropped at after my 6th round in Minnesota. So did you. I think we had the same score or something.
Well, you were in that tie bracket in Mini, I think.
I was. Yeah, that was exhausting. But yeah, anyways, so but like playing in the event, if you do great, awesome. I mean, that's the goal, obviously. But if you don't, it's totally fine. Because it's like the whole event is just fun in and of itself. Being there is fun. Playing side events is fun. Standing in lines are kind of fun.
That's so.
I also like to point out that this is the most hygienic card game community that I've been around, and so that makes it all the more enjoyable.
Yeah. I haven't. I haven't seen a deodorant call yet, so we're doing pretty good.
Yeah. I think
deodorant call like Judge, I need a stick of I need an Axe body spray.
No, like a judge has to tell someone that they need to take care of their hygiene in the bathroom real quick. Like,
oh, that's rough.
That's gross.
Yeah, that's a stigma that's gone away over time. But like, man, did some older versions of card games just it's just take care of yourself. That's all. I'm not trying to be mean to anybody. I'm just saying everyone's there to have a good time. I'm not pointing fingers.
Yeah, I mean, it's really not that big of a
and I know it's different for everybody, but also like you're in public, so just that's all.
A lot of public, mini public, just in one very condensed space.
Yes,
as well.
Yeah,
with little airflow. Usually a heating problem. So
usually, dude, it's been warm on the last couple Sundays. But that's what's gonna happen. It's like 100 degrees outside sometimes.
That's Nebraska.
Yeah. We can roll into that because something you guys brought up with Minnesota was like the side events and the drafting, and that's kind of something we can talk about going into these. We'll talk about the week 3 PQ results, but also to bring it in a little bit did you guys see that they had the for regionals for sectors I think it was sectors, they'll have the day 1 will technically be a sealed tournament, and then as in Friday, and then if you don't do well in that event you can sign up hopefully for the Saturday event still. Yeah.
Do you have to do the sealed event?
Nope.
To do the so it's both. So like you can do it's not
so
required.
If you do well in the sealed day 2 is on day 1 of the main event. So you'll enter into a draft tournament on Saturday. But
that's cool.
It gives you the chance at 2 PQs if you really want to try and run it twice in one weekend. or 2 large events. But
yeah, not P2s technically, I guess, but
yeah,
yeah,
pretty neat
like
though.
2 options for points, I guess.
Yeah,
That's kind of neat. I'm not a big limited guy myself, but
I think it'll make it nice though. Like if I'm already using PTO, I feel like I'll use some more PTO to be like there for another day. I mean, getting in on Friday makes it so I have to use less, but yeah, I don't know. If I'm making a trip out of it, I might as well enjoy myself for the whole weekend. But
I agree. Yeah,
yeah,
I agree.
All right, Laura, was there anything else you wanted to talk about before we move this over to PQ results?
Nothing off the top.
All right. Well, I think one of the decks what have you been practicing lately? It's been Vader Yellow and what else?
Yeah, I've been playing Piet and Vader for Yellow.
Okay.
Those are kind of the 2 I've been playing with. I'm not looking at the meta and what happened in the last weekend. I'm not sure that either one is like a solid option for me. But I'm having fun with them, and sometimes I kind of land on this like I'm probably not going to do super well, but I want to have fun, and so that's what we're going to do. So those are the 2 I've been kind of playing with.
Piet has probably been like the single most like card for card fun deck I've played in a long time.
I built a Piet. I think it was a Piet Blue when he first came out, and I just had so much fun with it. It was never strong enough to really do much, but it was just like I just want to play some games and have fun because it is so fun that to me that like cheating the cost, like playing one of the red devs on 6 is gross and it's my favorite.
Answer me.
It's so fun.
Or die.
Yep.
Yeah, or lose the game.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. I hope that like all this Boba data vault has been really cool to see it pop up out of like kind of nowhere-ish. But I wish that Piet was the deck there, rather. But
Same.
I'll take what I can get. Yeah, let's jump into some of the actual results for this weekend, because I know Daniel did well with that deck, but I haven't seen it really pop up anywhere else.
I mean, shout out to Dan though. I feel like he's gonna do good with anything.
Oh, no kidding. I think he said he's gonna.
He can probably play a potato.
I don't know what he's gonna be on for the next one. Already scared, but maybe I won't be there and I won't have to be scared. But
he's not gonna run it back.
It is super fun to watch Dan play though.
Decks. He just says he likes to play different decks, so
yeah, he's always on. He's always on to the next thing. No one knows what it'll be, and then he destroys us all for a day. And then we move on, and that's just how it goes.
And the deck gets banned. And
yeah. Hey, if this Boba Fett's good, Daniel, you're hearing. I know you're watching somewhere.
I guess we just gotta wait and see the next time he wins a PQ. That's the indicator. That's the indicator. And when something gets banned, he just has to win a PQ or a sector, and then something gets banned.
He has
the reason. Yeah. That's why they haven't banned Force Throw yet.
It's true.
Right.
Because he's not playing it.
He's not playing it.
Good point. And when we play it, it's like, all right,
we're here. We're out here.
That's hilarious.
All right, Michael, I've got Swim Meta stats pulled up. I'll throw this down in the comments or in the description down below. Where do you want to roll off from here? We're gonna look over some PQ data. Where do I go?
Yeah, hit that meta button.
Meta.
And go to weekly snapshots.
Cool. All right.
This is this week's data, and all of the arrows, the up, down, sometimes to the right arrows indicate the change from last week's snapshot.
Okay.
And each snapshot is taken from the data of the weekend tournaments on Monday, or well, technically Sunday night, but like Monday early morning. So it grabs everything for that week and then takes this snapshot here.
Okay, so basically,
Anakin Force Space actually went up. That's cool.
Yeah, we got a lot to
into a lot. I think it's good into a lot of stuff.
Anakin Force Space.
Yeah, because I think you can also play it pretty effectively into some of the space decks because Jedi Starfighter with Anakin is just a trade monster.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah. And you can race too, because you can just flip and hit them twice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is where I'll just drop a little blurb of like the kinds of things that I'm talking about when any of like the explanation of what I want to see in content that I think Mike Larson and I are going to make is like, I love playing Anakin Blue. I love it. It's fun. I love the leader. I love the playstyle, but I'm learning that mid-range is not something I'm good at. And I'm having to like recognize that. Like I'm having fun with it, but I'm not going very far with it. And so that's something to see Anakin do so well. I just kind of have to go like, okay, I understand mid-range isn't my thing. And it took me a while to figure that out. So like if I can create content that helps people understand the difference between all that so that they don't have to spend months playing a deck that they're not going to go far with, if I can help with that, because that's seeing Anakin jump up, I'm like, dang it, I wish I was better at mid-range.
Hey, I would say mid-range is probably I've said before, aggro's the hardest archetype to play, just because it's like if you can't close out that game, it becomes, you're scratching for a little bit of damage. But I think one of the biggest things to learn in this style of game is trading units efficiently.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
It'll take you a lot further, because damage, you're not contesting anything. You just got to know to make sure to go there. That's all.
Yep. So I didn't mean to take away from Swoon meta stats. I just thought I wanted to drop that in there.
I think that's a really good topic, actually, because you make a really good point that, like, I think it sometimes you have to lean into what you identify yourself as being
your personal strengths.
I want to say aligned with. Yeah,
like your strengths.
Your personal strengths. Like I can't play aggro. Like not that I can't, but my brain doesn't work that way. Like it just does not function for an aggro deck. And I feel like whenever I pick one up, I hit face a few times and they stop me, and then I just kind of like fall apart and I don't know what to do. And I can't play that, but I can play mid range and I can play control all day long. And so but anyways, it's interesting, right? Like, I would agree with you, Adam. Aggro's the hardest deck to play for me. I bet a lot of other people might have a different answer, which is interesting.
Steven, how about you?
What I think the hardest deck is.
Hardest.
I still think mid-range.
Yeah, just like for you.
For me.
Yeah, like for you when you're like.
It's hard to say, because I feel like control is probably the hardest one for me to play, just because, and not to say that I feel like control it has historically, from a card game perspective, been the hardest one for me. I feel like, at least for Star Wars, I think I can play actually all of them relatively on par with one another at this point. I think I'm probably best at mid-range right now. But that's, I think Rey is a mid-range soft control deck, so it kind of fits into that sweet spot that I've been playing for so long. But at least right now for me, I think control is probably what I'm the weakest at in kind of the current metagame.
I think
just because I think you just have because the meta is so wide, I think control is just going to also be inherently harder to play. Control is better when it can focus on certain matchups and
definitely
play into that. And control obviously is going to require I think the lines are potentially a little bit harder matchup to matchup. In certain ways, it's a little weird, because obviously if you're against an aggro deck, well, your goal is to is effectively the same, as opposed to like a mid-range deck where I think the lines are actually more difficult to see the first time that you see a matchup. Control is a little bit less so, but playing playing control, it might be more difficult to just be like, what's the break point? Like the control matchup is like, okay, where's the break point?
I'm in the same boat. I think hard control, it has so many different versions of meta reliance, like what are your targets, what are the optimal removal spells to deal with them, and then B, it's like it also has the problem of finding itself in a mirror, and I have never enjoyed the long hard control mirror.
Mirror is brutal.
Yep. Set 1 made me not want to play that ever again.
Yeah, and honestly, like, you know, I know you and I practiced a long time ago against like Bosk Blue, something I have not seen in a very long time. Thank you for all that. I just don't think that is enjoyable to me. You know, like, I know like Kira Datavault at Minneapolis was very good, but I feel like Kira as a leader can kind of like push herself past what most decks are, or most of these like heavy control leaders are. Like Aiden just heals, which is obnoxious, but like at least you can push tempo board with how Kira could flip and do so much. But yeah,
and just the way that you played, like especially at that point in the meta when it was still set 4, you played a little bit lower to the ground, so like you could still just win off of hitting people on the board when you start with Hylabon Enforcer into a 3-drop, etc. Like, when I played Akira in round 3 or whatever, he playing Kira, she like killed me in 8 minutes because I just my draws were so bad. So like you have that ability to still do or you still have that ability to just win the game quickly.
Completely
because you
agree.
still play a lot of units, right? It's kind of one of those situations of I'm maybe gonna have a slower start, but once I'm there, I'm just gonna all right, threat.
Yeah.
Well, also, Kira herself could be a threat. Not so much now in the current meta. She's just an event, but she used to be a threat. You'd flip her. She usually didn't die immediately. You'd get her to 6 attack pretty consistently, and then if you hit them in the face twice with that and they can't deal with it, I mean, there you go.
Yeah. Let's get
that doesn't happen now, by the way.
Well, she did get a win here, so let's see. We'll look down these wins for the weekend with obviously Quinlan Voss chilling up there at 4. I hate to see it, but I love to see it because I'm a fan of Palpiello. Palpiello got 2 wins to his name. It was one of them was in New York. I gotta watch that one on stream. That was pretty cool, hosted by the McClunky guys. Boba Fett. I thought Boba Fett got 4 wins this week, but I could be completely wrong.
I thought Quinlan got 4 and he got 2, but that's what I thought I saw on Discord. Also, what this shows, unless there's a tournament that didn't pull the data in.
We'll have to check. But I might also just be completely wrong.
I'm seeing at least 4 from this weekend win.
Either way, we have Admiral Akbar showing up once again after. I wonder if it's the same guy from the last set that just because it didn't get a PQ win, it got second at a really big PQ, but now it's closed it out. So is Akbar one of the best, you guys? No.
I think it's all. I don't know that it's the best per se. I think it's a preparation thing. Like I just think people don't know how to play against the deck.
Yeah.
They don't know what their win cons are and how to actually play it right, because it's either the Akbar can stall long enough, or people just start panicking because they keep putting out a bunch of X-Wing tokens in space, and they're like, what am I supposed to do here? So
yeah,
I experienced that.
I haven't looked at his list yet, but I did just play against one on unnamed resources a little bit ago that had Babu Frick in there, and I was just like, what is going on? So I just threw it off the board. So
remember what that card does.
Something with droids, but he just used to exhaust
it. 1-cost 1/4. You can tap it. You may attack with a friendly droid unit. For this attack, it deals damage equal to its remaining HP instead of its power.
Why does that help you?
I think he just used it to exhaust, to make his own X-Wing tokens. I think that's all he added in there for. Unless there's a droid on it. So.
Okay. Feels like you could choose any other card for that purpose, but
fair.
I don't know. It could just be a situation of he wants to be able to play 1-drops just to go a little bit wider.
Yeah, maybe.
And then that way he can still exhaust something the following turn and then still have something else that's active.
All right, and then Laura, we have your Anakin Skywalker on a Force blue base. Anything surprising about that right now?
For me?
Yeah, I mean, just like, how do you feel about Anakin in like the meta at this moment? You've put a lot more into him than
I love him. I think it's great to see him doing as well as he can. Truthfully, it's kind of fun to see him. He's above Han Solo.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a lot of people that always thought Han was stronger, but anytime I played that matchup, I felt like I was favored. So I feel like Anakin just has, like, the way it trades up. I don't know, like, I feel like it was always better. So I'm loving seeing that he jumped up because it shows that, like, okay, I did know what I was talking about. He is a decent deck.
Yeah, his ability to kill a turn one play when he has initiative is still like one of the best in the game.
Especially with all the Legends of the Force stuff that came out, all the like turn one plays that had 4 health or a shield that could kill a turn one play and still last was awesome.
Makes sense.
I agree.
Sage
I think
with
sometimes Anakin loses to the fact that he doesn't have initiative, and then he
yes,
he just will lose, and that sucks.
I will say that initiative can be really important. I think that's one reason that I love Secret of Sage, because that shield was just enough to protect me if I didn't have initiative. So oftentimes I would mulligan just to have a Secret of Sage if I didn't have initiative, because that shield it was like just enough to get me through.
I think Secret of
Sage, but that initiative
is
so very important.
The other interesting thing is this Anakin list was running triple Shatterpoint and no.
Really?
Yeah, it wasn't running Fell. It wasn't running Takedown. It was running triple Shatterpoint.
That would throw. No, what about Power?
It was running double Power and triple Lightning.
Okay, so it's on
double Power and triple Lightning.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was wondering because there's been a lot
of them.
I
want to find this deck list.
It did side double Fell though. It did side double Fell. It was siding the daughter.
That's a lot of removal. Holy cow.
Interesting.
The Shatterpoint is very interesting. We'll keep rolling down the list because
triple Lightning.
I've been I don't know if you've been exploring Kylo Tarkin Town, Michael, but that's probably the most played version of Kylo that I've been on lately. Glad to see it. I know this was Ian Klein who took this down, the same guy who got second at the Galactics, so that was cool to see. It's his second win on Tarkin Town and third win overall because he did one on Data Vault, but both of the Tarkin Town wins are from the Bothan guys who have just been destroying that part of the country with this deck right now. So
it seems that it's the only people that are winning with the deck in a way, and I mean that's a little a little bit extreme, but
it's
not totally true. But
it is really, really hard to play.
Yeah,
it's a lot of fun though. Making a big suited up Kylo is just, it's just peak.
I tried it like a couple of times, and I don't know. I like green, but it's fun. I need to give it more of a try.
I mean, even just like flipping an only to a craving power feels so nice. Like, let me, here's my 7/7 with Sentinel, take 7 damage to one of your big units, and I'll just continue on my merry way. So.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
It's so much more efficient.
Version was better, but.
There was an ECL that got top 8 this week. And
I saw that. Yeah, that was exciting.
You and I are both in the KTOD threads, and I needed to ask you. I forgot. Both Han Solos. We have Han 2 in green and in blue. Both got 1 win, and then
that's pretty. That's like one of the few ones that for green, right?
Yeah,
green hasn't won a lot.
Yeah, I think so overall. Yeah, he's definitely not the worst off of the two, but he's definitely between the two of them the one with less like mainline players. So. And then your girl Kira got her first PQ win of the set.
Hell yeah.
We
and look at that, her win rate still sucks.
Dude. Look, yeah. And seeing them go up and down is very interesting. And our conversion rate went down.
Yeah. So I'm guessing there's just more Kiras, and only this one did anything at all. Because there's the last couple weeks there were a couple of Kiras in top 8.
Huh. I haven't seen that leader in so long.
Yeah.
When you're just like an open fire away from death, it makes me feel okay inside.
I still think it's the best barrage leader, though.
I agree with that. That is, like, especially with Vader stepping away from barrage now in his main list.
Mm-hmm.
Barrage, though, since they're just there for on the same turn.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it sets up the barrage to be even more effective.
Exactly, right.
Yeah,
and like the Kylo Data Vault barrage kind of sucks, and by comparison, it's too late. You just play Craving. I mean, not that you don't play it, but it's just not as impactful. Iden, it's okay, but you play it on 6.
No. It's good with any of the decks that are looking to run Long Pike right now. Can make good use of barrage, but that's about kind of it. Yeah, which is at this point all of them. Yoda
I think
Red.
Long Pike is a great addition for a lot of decks.
I agree.
Yoda.
You have both the ability to be a 4 and 5 drop fill out curve with him. I've loved it.
Out of your hand.
Yes. And his ability is so good to set up Vader. It's just.
It's really good. It's good. I actually took Rey out of all of my Kylo lists and swapped it with Long Pike.
Okay.
For the most part, and it feels way better because then if you don't ramp, you have a 4 drop. If you do ramp, you can just smuggle him out immediately, and then you also have a barrage target as well, which you didn't have before in the deck. And then, and then it sets up for Vader, and then it's great. And then when you don't have a hand because you just happen to get force thrown twice in a row and you're sad and about to quit the game, you get to smuggle him out, and then you're good.
They can't force throw him if he's not there.
Exactly. Right. We should all just play one copy of Tech in every deck.
Yoda Red took one down, which is awesome to see. Yoda was actually in multiple top 8s and in multiple finals this weekend. It was kind of cool to see it had a increase in play. I mean, you can also see its meta share went up to 2.9%. Conversion rate is really good. It's just nice to see that Rey combo being utilized. I know people are running it in Kylo Tarkin down too, but like Yoda's the home for it in reality.
What? The Rey?
Yeah.
Really?
Yep. So, and then that is we got one more. We have a Mother Talzin that took one down as well, which is about time. I was kind of curious to see if it would actually get to any, just because of how the meta has shifted kind of like against Talzin. But
you can kind of see here though, it's that same effect though. I think she's just like really difficult to play because her win rate has been consistently not great overall, like looking at everybody, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it really feels to me like it's those who can play her well, and those who can't really can't.
I think that's, as a new player, that's something really interesting to catch on to, is like the number of times I would go and like find a deck list online and go, this deck did really good, and then put it together and be like, how did this deck do really good? And like understanding so much is like how to play it is like learning how to play it is so much more important than how well the deck did.
Yes, yeah.
That's the other thing that I want to point out too. Like the PQ that it won was only 24 players.
Huh?
See, that's super interesting.
Yeah, there you go.
That's
super
interesting. Yoda Red, it was only 37 players, and I'm like looking at the matchups that he played throughout the day. He played 2 mirrors.
Oh wow.
Oh, yeah, that makes a big difference. Yeah.
Right, like he didn't play any aggro, like except for he played against Captain Phasma ECL randomly. But
I didn't know that was a deck.
and then like the next most aggro deck that he played was Cad Bane. So like other than that, he got like the matchups that he wants with Anakin, Luke, Han 2. So it's just stuff like that.
Yeah, it's something.
Didn't he also play Kylo Data Vault as well? Wasn't that PQ?
No, there was not a
No?
Kylo.
Oh, different PQ where Yoda got played into a Kylo Data Vault.
Yeah.
I saw some stream. Anyways.
You're good. It's just always like, you know, like what Laura, you were saying. It's like this deck can be really good. It can take down an event, but at the end of the day, it's basically the pilot and their understanding of it. And also with what Steven said, it's like the matchups, the attendance does matter, but also like you still have to get there. It's not always easy. Sometimes it's easier, but you know, those were all the wins we had for the week.
So hold on.
You're good.
Are you saying to me that it's about the pilot, as long as the pilot doesn't get bamboozled?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Segue.
See what you did there.
Would be.
There's the Michael we know and love.
Good segue into our not sponsored, because we're not sponsored here. Not yet.
Segue out of me on this podcast.
Let's see. How would be the best way on Swoo Metastats to pull up Quinlan and Quinlan and Boba?
Archetypes.
Okay.
And then scroll down to Quinlan.
All right.
Which is their Shibi, and then click on Tarkin Town.
These all B's better 0%. Okay. Wait, the people
or any of these other crappy ones that somebody played once.
Huh. All right. So, just because this was the big winner of the week and probably the deck that's going to be in big contention going into our next topic, but Quinlan, Tarkin Town, and Boba Fett Data Vault. Honestly, if you had told me about like a month ago at Galactics that Boba Fett would be this good, and today I'd be like, that's really weird. Why? Like, and I still actually don't have a real answer to it other than the fact that we're like either in a really long meta or we're using really low HP bases, and I think that's the answer, but I don't know. And then I just want to say,
as well.
I think Quinlan is just the like quote unquote like best card curve for most of the time. Like, I think this deck just has it all. Maybe not like punches the hardest, but will close out games with, like I said earlier, a really good pilot. So, what are you guys' thoughts? At least we'll start with Quinlan.
Start with Quinlan?
Yeah. I know you've been on it a little bit, Steven.
Oh, yeah. So, I've been loving the deck. It just is so flexible to me. Because you have the ability to just completely hand hate your opponent to oblivion. Yet at the same time, you can play the deck so aggressively, and then you still kind of have tools here to control the board, right? I mean, Quinlan, obviously, you have pings, so you have inherent ways to control the board along with Tarkin Town there. You've got you've got your Plo Koon for ambush. You've got the new inclusions of not Addy, Depa, Balaba. I mean, I know it struggles into Sabine for sure, but I mean, it just feels good into everything. Like I was playing this yesterday at our locals, and it just feels good into I don't want to say everything, but it's like it feels like you have a shot into everything. I know, at Worlds, one of the Central Spacer guys, Devonte, was talking to Woo, and Woo was like, "Yeah, I couldn't find a deck that was, just better than everything." So he just went with Quinlan because he felt like it was his best 50-50 matchup situation, and he could just outplay. And it does very much feel like that because, Adam, you mentioned something about, is it doing well because bases have less HP? Don't think it matters, because like I played like 5 or 6 games into Palpatine Colossus, and the only reason that I lost those games, any of those games, was because of 35 health. If he did not have 35 health, he like if he has 30 health, he loses every single game. So like it's just that close. So
yeah, I watched those games. I feel bad for you, Daniel. Daniel did Daniel things.
I just needed to keep something on board, but nope, alas.
I think that I know you mentioned it earlier, Laura, but like picking up decks to learn them so that you know how to play against them and play them.
Yes.
Like this would be a very hard deck to do that with, but if you spent enough time doing it, this would teach you both mid-range and like tempo, but also like just this deck in general. It probably teaches you the most about how to prepare for what your opponent is looking to play on that turn.
Yeah. I've had a couple people tell me that they think Quinlan is a very hard deck to play, but it is also a super beneficial deck for a new player to play because it can teach you a lot.
Yes.
I would agree.
It teaches you when to hold.
Quinlan.
Yeah. You can. I think it's one of those decks where when you do something and it's not right, it's an immediate realization of, oh, I shouldn't have done that, as opposed to maybe some of these other decks where you're like, it might be like, oh, actually you need to do this differently from like 3 actions ago or 3 entire rounds ago, and it's kind of it can be harder to backtrack there, right? While with Quinlan, it definitely feels like, oh, I ordered something wrong. I did the wrong action, even though I did that action later in the turn. Because I did the ordering wrong, it's an immediate effect, and it's like, and it's easily recognizable.
Yeah.
And
I would agree with that.
Last thing about that, I guess, as well, is I think Quinlan teaches you, like, it's 50 is so, I'll say static, that you can get pretty customizable with the sideboard pretty easily. And from there, it's basically like truly learning on how to sideboard correctly. And that is still something I think everybody learns, like, as the meta develops, because it's always changing.
Yep.
So.
Well, I think
because, like you said, the main deck is so static, I feel like in a lot of matchups, there aren't necessarily clear cards where you're like, oh yeah, this obviously comes out, you know.
Yeah.
Because a lot of this stuff is like still quote unquote useful in matchups, but you just need the tech card to come in, and you have to actually think about what is truly necessarily for your win con, as opposed to just like niche and just not actually needed.
I think that's one of the places with sideboard. Like, I feel like Michael has done a really good job of teaching me how to know what cards go in against what deck. One of the spaces that I really struggle is, okay, I know that like these 3 or 4 or whatever cards need to go in. How do I know what to take out? That's the trickiest. So there are a lot of times I end up like, well, I'm only adding 4 cards. Like, I guess I'm running 54 cards. Like, here we go. And it works sometimes, and sometimes it's terrible.
Yeah, if you have to keep your deck down to that 50 to make sure you have that counter, like this Parliamentarian is a great example. It's like, yes, sometimes you can, board up and be just completely fine, but in most cases, if you're looking for something specific, keeping as low as you possibly can at that 50 mark is usually the suggested way.
Yeah.
And that's especially true when it's like when your matchup switch, like say you have like a 40% win rate game 1, and then post sideboard you have like a 65% win rate, because if you just see a particular sideboard card, you just probably win the game every time. Like then you definitely need to not dilute your odds of seeing the card.
Like when all my friends use bombing gun against me.
Plan. Yeah.
I was gonna say that was one of the things that in Vegas, I ran against a Vader yellow, my Anakin Force against a Vader yellow. And that was the first time I ran into Vader yellow was in Minnesota, and it was actually Frank from the Bothan Network. Shout out to Frank for being a great opponent. And that it was like, I lost so horribly that we laughed the whole time. And so to come to Vegas and sit down in front of one and go, I know exactly what I'm taking out. I know exactly what I'm putting in. And being able to take the second game, I was like, all right, I don't even care if I win the third. I'm just glad that I won something. And I think a big part of it was knowing what to take out, because then I actually, in the game that I won, I ran into 2 of my bombing runs because I didn't have extra cards in there unnecessarily. So that was a really cool show of like, okay, I need to figure out what to take out of things to ensure I'm not watering things down too far.
Yeah.
It's a tough thing. There's some decks. I think Quinlan is a really good example of it. Like Adam was saying, where and Steven was saying that all of the cards in the deck are good into pretty much all matchups. There aren't really any bad cards into matchups in this deck. They're all playable, so it's really tough to know what to side out and what to side in. In other decks, it's very clear.
Yep.
Like you probably aren't getting to Crate Dragon and Anakin against Vader Yellow.
Nope.
You can probably just take that card out.
Yep.
Like that's pretty clear. But you can probably get to Han, and that's the top end of this deck. So you can probably get to your 7-drop Han just fine. You can't really take that out against anything, except for maybe entirely space something. I don't know, but
see, I'm like, well, what do you need Han Solo for in the Vader matchup? The one thing that it'd be useful for is a force throw at their Vader deploy.
That's valid.
But
that's actually a really valid reason too.
But then you have Depa for that. So it's like, do you just do that so you can more likely see the force throw, or do you bank on something else? Is the bombing run just better than force throwing Han?
Just because we're on the topic of
the bombing run is better than force throwing.
But this is a really good this is a really good point, right? Because like without talking that out, it's not a very clear answer.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the purpose, or that's the point of with Quinlan specifically. I also have to say too that I think Quinlan's a deck that, in my experience playing it, I never feel like I'm winning until I've won.
So you walk this fine line.
Yep. It's never. I mean, it's not like I feel like I'm losing, and then it's like a couple of times where their hand doesn't exist. I'm like, all right, I got this.
Yeah.
Because you don't have cards to play. But if that's not the case, then it feels like, okay, I think I've got this, but one thing could go wrong, and this can tumble down.
Yeah.
But that is what happens sometimes, Like I was literally just playing against someone the other night, and I pillaged both their cards out of their hand on the 4 resource turn, and then sure as hell, the next turn they just top back a Kiadi and bring their way back into that game. But whatever amount of times that doesn't happen, I am rewarded. So I just you have to mentally remind yourself, even when the tech goes into the deck, it's not always going to be a surefire, like, all right, I have the answer, but you're more prepared.
Top deck card in that scenario is Reinforcement Walker, because they either are like, cool, I put a big thing and now I heal, so you can't kill me, or I need cards, I'll draw. It's like that's the one that gives me PTSD.
Yeah.
All right, let's jump into I guess we'll look over this real quick. Unfortunately, the thing about Quinlan, it is so static. There's really nothing in here that's very surprising to my knowledge. The hidden sharpshooter was something for Kira at one point. Aether Sprite's just more
for Sabine as well.
Fennec Shand is really nice.
To the flex section in the main deck here.
Okay.
These will be some of the spicier cards that people might be playing. But that's kind of interesting. 43% of decks are using Waylay, so that's less than 50%.
Well, I think it's because it's like you're either maining to Waylay or you're siding to Waylay.
Yep, and that's exactly what
makes sense, but it's also surprising to me nonetheless.
Yeah.
It almost feels too slow compared to where it was like when back in set 1. So
yeah, and I feel like a lot of this, I feel like in a lot of cases, Quinlan is kind of more so playing towards aggro, so you don't need the Waylay disruption, and even against the decks that are faster than Quinlan, the Waylay actually is not beneficial for you.
Yeah.
He's gotten faster, right?
I think so.
Quinlan?
Mm-hmm.
I think he's got one faster.
I guess more of them probably just because you're including the Gorilla Soldier. Like,
and the sometimes lightsaber, right? The constructed and stuff like that.
I think the fact that you also have a very clear 6-drop also just helps your curve so much more because you get a kill thing, and now you have a 5 power leader that they have to deal with. Previously, you were playing like 2-3 drops or some weird off curve thing. So it's just, I think you've just standardized your turn order or your 6-drop turn more so than you had in the past. It's like Hero, right? You never had a good 6-drop, and same could have been said for Quinlan.
Yeah,
Depa has been a fantastic curve filler. I'm really happy to see that card do well. Yep. For those who haven't seen it, Ambush Saboteur 5/7. Some are running 2, some are running 3 under the breakdown here, which is really interesting because I think it's just a good 3 cost or 3 staple, in my opinion. But I need to put some more reps in with Quinlan.
But
I think it's still a nice 4-star target, just in case you. But it probably one too many. I could see as well. But yeah, Quinlan, a fantastic deck. Its conversion rate, I'm assuming, is only going to go up. I don't know what's going to keep it in check, but we can check the matchups actually over here.
Kylo
Let's
Ren
see what
has been or just Kylo Ren ECL.
Oh yeah,
has been rough for it.
Have you put much time against, like, personally, Gar into Quinlan Voss? Has anybody played that? Because I think that's the better ECL Vader deck right now.
I think I've played it once, and I think I lost purely because I made a misclick. Otherwise, I think I smash.
Really?
Otherwise, I think I just smash it.
I've not played Gar. I've played Kylo ECL. I've played Kira ECL. I've played Krennic ECL, and I've played Thrawn ECL, and all of them have done well.
The only reason that I think it does well into the Gar is you're like, oh, well, the shield protects you. Personally, I think Gar, the reason that it's good is because that little 1 extra damage off of every unit just gets them to the break point to kill you. And if it just gets pinged off every single time, you miss out on so much of that damage.
Well,
and your
Gar
units then are just
ECL
smaller.
is like an aggro deck.
Yeah.
Which is weird. And all the other versions are not aggro decks.
Yeah, Gar goes very fast. Gar,
no, all the other ECL decks, sorry. Like the other ECL blue villain decks aren't really aggro decks.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I was just curious. That's my personal favorite way to ECL. Kylo Ren is still fun on ECL, but I think I'm starting to gravitate towards Data Vault. But
yeah, me too.
I think a lot of people are gravitating towards Data Vault.
Yeah.
That HP is so helpful.
Like, I feel like if you're playing a blue-green villainy now, because there's such a resurgence of like other blue-green villainy that's on Data Vault, you're just like, well, I have to play Data Vault to win those matchups, and then like it's oh, I'm getting 3 extra health then, and we've already established that Data Vault doesn't like make your deck that much worse when you're in these colors.
It's crazy how many just the amount of statistics you have showing up here. Oh my gosh. 18-2 against Leia. Oh no.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Leia's like crap.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Its next worst matchup is Yoda Data Vault, which is, but it's so funny. 3 of its 5 worst matchups are just Kylo Ren with different bases.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
All right. Let's jump back into archetypes and check out Boba real quick. Who here has played Boba Fett?
Data Vault or
I have
Boba
not.
Fett?
Let's jump into just the leader in general. I know you've played a little bit of Boba, Steven, right?
Yep.
Okay.
I don't think Laura and either of us have.
I don't enjoy playing against it. I will tell you that.
Yeah, it has a like answer me, like when you put that Boba leader on a ship, it becomes a very big unit. And
Yeah.
if you don't have
Look at that conversion rate
or let's see.
as well.
Well, I feel like all that
That's
indirect damage, I
crazy.
never know where to put it.
That's a hard
Yeah,
one.
you have to be playing decks to
Yeah.
Units with big booties.
They go the distance, and Steven's old tried and true method was always restore your way out. And
That's a valid one.
I did just click over to matchups. One of its worst matchups is Anakin Force.
Huh.
Maybe I need to
Yeah,
jump back on the
and-
Force train.
Interesting.
Well,
That's
that's
super
also the
interesting.
reason. Like, I mean, Han 2 blue is also the case because I think
Yeah.
it just does very
Restore?
poorly into the red blue villainy because of all the restore.
Yeah.
And I guess they can probably just force throw your flip pretty easily.
I mean, there's that too, but
I don't know. I'm not sure. I mean, some of those decks run Rivals Fall as well. I don't
yeah,
know.
like the blue. I think just blue red hero doesn't do well into because you have restore, you have access to the force throw, which I don't think Boba Fett has really enjoyed at any point during its iteration. And I feel like a lot of the chip damage that you get out of Boba Fett, because it's just getting restored, there's you don't have to put it on your units.
Yep.
And a lot of the game plan with
Makes
Boba
sense.
is like, oh, they're going to put some damage on units. Maybe I have just like an IG 2000 to help clear, but when they can just re-heal the damage, you can kind of just ignore your lanes. And I mean, now you as the Boba Fett player you can't flip till 6 resources, I guess, unless you ramp. But I mean, even if you do ramp, I think just the pressure that Han 2 especially can put down is really good. And then obviously Anakin, if can hit you then for 8 or 9.
Yeah, I would say with Anakin
good
too,
point.
there's a point where like I'm okay putting it on my base. 1, because I want the damage to make my leader flip better, and 2, because I have the restore, I can heal myself. So that when I played Anakin against Boba, that always felt easier. It's when I'm testing these other things that it's like I don't know where to put this.
Yeah.
Well, if you
That's
look
crazy.
at those matchups, the matchup into Vader yellow is basically like the Vader player can just quit and leave.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Can confirm.
The Emperor Palpatine yellow win rate surprises me. I feel like that would.
Yeah, that does. Me too.
That surprises me.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you show matchups, it's 128 wins to 42 losses.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yikes.
But one of them drew somehow. So
What?
Yikes.
ID probably.
That could have been
Probably,
it could have
yeah.
been ID,
Yeah.
I'm sure it's an ID. The reason I have those separated out is for that reason, so it doesn't use draws as like it just shows draws as a kind of a separate thing because of IDs.
Oh man, this website, it's fantastic, dude.
It
Thank
really
you.
is.
I appreciate that.
I want to see something. Devs 3 Maul was one of the ones I was. So they're on primarily 3. Very interesting.
Something that I think that's interesting about this deck is it also has a pretty tight core. There's
It
a lot
really
of like
does.
sub themes, like you can go with the droid package with Invisible Hand or not, but there is a pretty tight core of cards that you see pretty consistently.
Yeah, I was looking at the total usage. It just it's all very high.
Yeah.
What's surprising to me is like S Super Laser Tech and Resupply are not in the core.
That's bananas sandwich to me.
They're
I
still
think,
both 84 and 82% though.
yeah,
I
but
mean,
being
true, but,
green,
like that's a low percentage to, like for what they are, in my opinion.
I'd agree, in my opinion as well. But hey, if you want to, my thought is if you don't want to ramp against me, cool, good for me.
Yeah, I know Thork just put out a video about his version of Boba, including the Invisible Hand. So I was looking because I was like, I want to use all my cool Piet cards and these like I just got some of these regular devs that I just haven't bought, and I was like, I want to make it look fancy, but I want to see the Invisible Hand in more decks just because it's so good into the power matchup or like the blue villainy matchup. But
It's a cool card.
It just I don't know if it's optimal, but it's nice to see at least some people are running it in the list. I might have to break off one of my I'll break off my love of Piet for a little while and play this instead.
I gotta say, having played against it now a few times on various items and platforms, it's starting to look very appetizing, which is weird because I'm not a space deck guy. I don't like the pilots. Boba's never interested me. Not that there's anything wrong with them, it's just not my jam. But it's never interested me. But lately it has been because I don't know. It looks like I kind of want to dump 12 damage on somebody's forehead with a bombardment. That sounds kind of cool.
There's very few things as satisfying as bombardment or dev in this game to me. So
yes, I would agree with that.
I lost to one the other day where he just had the bombardment. I had like 11 damage left on base. I had no units. He claimed and played it, and great.
It's always even more fun when the 12 damage just works out perfectly between units and base, so they lose regardless of where they. Like, it's not even you got to assign it, but it's just like, oh, you can put 5 of it on units and you have 7 health left. Sorry.
I did that. I was playing my Piet against a Boba Data Vault, and his units on board. I had a capital ship, so planetary bombardment did the 12 damage. But I couldn't assign it, but with what he had on board, he had to take it to his base. Otherwise, he wouldn't have had a ship to flip Boba onto. I was like, I will play that even though I can't decide where that goes because I know where you're going to put it.
Yeah. That's the dual threat about pilots is that, like, even when they don't have that ship, they are still usually pretty decently statted on the ground. But,
yeah.
Some of them.
Some of them, not all.
Some of them not so, yeah.
Yeah. This list is very... I'm glad he's on the 3X of Dornian Gunship. I think that's just the better card.
I like that card a lot. What do you guys think of that in Piet, though? I think all of you are running that, and you're running the other one, right? The 5/5?
Yeah, that's one of the things I wanted to test, but I'm also just kind of like, if I'm going to be... I got to make sure the time I'm using is like, you know, I'm learning something from it. Piet is very fun, but I don't think there's a lot of scenarios where there's lines you have to practice, basically. And I just want to be a narcissist and play Kylo Tarkin Town. So that hurts my brain, but it's also really fun. Yeah, these events. Yeah, planetary. Yeah, I mean, this is quite literally, we have the exact same 14 in Piet. So
they're very, very similar decks.
Yes. I bet somehow I would hit my...
Cool.
Yeah, the Palp is pretty cool. I would see my ramp less in Piet than I would in this deck with 10 more cards, like mathematically somehow.
I feel like I had a hard time pulling my ramp in my Piet, and I don't know why.
Maybe it's because it feels like it's so impactful that when you don't have it, it's just like...
Just be your own opponent and always have it.
True.
Good idea. I hadn't tried that.
Forehead.
Yeah.
The one card that's very interesting here is this Prototype TIE Advanced. I think he was just doing it to fill out the 3-drop curve, I'm assuming. But a 4/3 in space with no abilities of any kind.
I mean, it's not horribly statted. I mean, obviously you probably want something with an ability, but it's like, what are your alternatives, right? And I'm trying to think what your alternatives for 3 are. Like, either you're piloting, which honestly usually isn't like the best choice unless you're maybe against aggro. So yeah, I mean, droid missile platform's very, very good, but beyond that, it doesn't feel like you have a whole lot of options.
He has what?
Yeah.
Let's see, 1, 7.
So you just would have ramp. Like, it's like droid missile platform or ramp.
Yeah.
Open fire.
Yeah, he's got unit wise, he has 12 units that he could play on turn 2, 2 of which are pilots. And then
I don't know.
Open fire and resupply.
TIE Dagger Vanguard, maybe.
What's the sideboard? 3 parliamentarian.
That guy does not care for Kylo. He's like, fuck you, Kylo.
Yes. He has been aggrieved so harshly. He must.
Yeah.
He must. Oh, he had a prototype in the
He must
side as well.
parlay a
That's
Mentarian
so
with it.
interesting.
Yeah,
Must
that
like
card
it for
is a
something
card
specific.
for sure.
Maybe Vader, but I don't know.
But you already have a
definitely a
good
card.
matchup into Vader, so I don't see why he would.
Yeah, that's fair. To be determined, I guess.
We'll get back to y'all.
It could just be that he wants something to an actual threat on board in certain matchups.
It's probably for another barrage body. That's my guess.
A barrage.
I mean, getting punched for 4 over and over sucks.
That is very true.
Like, if you can't deal with it getting hit for 4, that's not, I mean...
Yeah, I just figure because I think it's matchup into because there what was the matchup? There was some control matchup that it was not great into, I thought. Like it's got a subpar win rate against Kylo, Data Vault, and Kira and Boss, so it could just help bring those matchups closer because
maybe
you just actually have another space unit that they have to deal with, and more than likely they aren't probably the greatest at dealing with more than two space units that are going to be hitting them for a decent amount each turn.
Yeah. Another body also for craving power if you absolutely need it.
Yep.
Yeah. God, I love that card.
Same.
What a great card. What a great budget option for barrage card.
It's a great option until with your invisible hand, you draw all your craving powers and they all go to the bottom of your deck.
Yeah.
That sucks. Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah. That blows a lot.
I did that where I swung with the invisible hand and all 3 of my devs were in a row and they all just went down to the bottom and I was like, all right, well.
That's the worst, right? Where you like look, it's off of anything and you're like, there's
or my planetaries.
There's my 2 crates and my Owen that I just did on turn 2. Guess
one of the games
to the bottom. We're gonna play in the long game.
One of the games locally that I played yesterday, my invisible hand, it was like 2 of my devs, a planetary bombardment, my craving power, and then what's the 7 drop ship? I can never remember what that one's called.
The invasion.
But that was like my 8 cards.
The droid raid fucker.
Yeah, that was like my 8 cards. So it was like, not only did I not get a card I could play, or even just draw, but this is all of the stuff that I need. It's my devs. It's my craving powers. I think there was an overwhelming barrage in there. I was like, "What? What is happening?"
It's like the U-wings of yesteryear, you know?
Yes.
Back in set 1, you're like, Han, attack. U-wing, you only have 5 resources. Shit, there's all my home ones and walkers.
Everything I know and love gone.
Yeah, right. I've played a Leia. I'm very happy about it.
Yeah. I think the deck just overall though, into the current meta, where like I said, I think it's apparently it's not doing super well. Let's check its matchups. We can do that. Let's see the things it enjoys. Obviously Kylo Ren, Darth Vader, and Gar Saxon. So low HP.
I like low HP and also Darth Vader.
Yeah. Things it's struggling with. Han Solo, Palp, and Anakin, like we had said. The Anakin one and the Han Solo one makes sense because of all the restore.
It seems pretty consistently bad into the late game green villain decks too, though.
I could see that.
Like, not the ECL ones, but
I wouldn't say consistently bad, but sub win rates.
Well,
because it looks like they're about 45% on average.
I guess bad being liberal, yes.
Yeah.
You'd have to,
but not winning into, right? Not favored.
Yeah.
I'd Data Vault say 48, which it could be worse.
Which is funny because I would expect Iden to be better than Kylo Tarkintown into Boba Data Vault. So
I also think it would be better than Kylo Data Vault as well.
Kira?
You would think it's healing, it's killing everything. I don't know.
Anakin?
Could also just be that Kylo Data Vault can actually race you.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it flips and
Maybe.
then it does stuff.
If it can do a lot of damage before Super Laser Blast hits the board.
Yeah.
But yeah. I mean, there's a lot
Nice.
you can pull.
I think this deck is going to continue to do well. I personally think that so actually, you know what? I'm going to take that back. What I was going to say is I think that at caveat, I haven't played Boba Data Vault, but one would think it stands to reason to say that it's doing well because all the Force decks go on the ground, and it's a space deck.
True.
But that doesn't seem to hold true if we look at the data here.
No, it
Just
doesn't.
loses to all the Force decks. So I don't know what the hell is going on and why it's doing so well, but it is.
I think it's just that like this game has its like like a color wheel. You have your opposites to everything, and it's your contrast. I think this is just a niche that we didn't know in the circle that created its own like contrast point. That people were just like not like immensely prepared for. I'm sure people, I mean, you can look at this deck and know about 85%, 90% of this deck pretty easily. But yeah, it just like it's another thing you can't have your deck always ready for. You can't lose and win into everything equally. So
That's true. And if you don't draw your answers, then
yes. Let's see. How does Quinlan look? Quinlan has
very equal.
Yeah, it's a 51%. Because that's what my biggest concern was: is how does that matchup feel? So,
I think it very much comes down to whether or not your barrage is very good.
That's fair. How
or if you have ramp. So
yeah.
that way your Boba comes down same turn as Quinlan.
That would be one to get some practice and some reps in with, or into, just to see.
Yeah.
And then,
but like with the resurgence of, I know we kind of touched on it last week, but with the resurgence of Quinlan, Boba Data Vault, I still think Han 2 is just poised to make a comeback for like a week or two. I think it's just ready to come smash.
And I think that's a great segue to our final topic, is basically what's next. I know we've talked about it for the last couple of weeks, but yeah, I could see Han 2 definitely coming back out of not out of hibernation, but like,
retirement.
Yeah, everybody threw it in the trash can for their new favorite toy, and now it's like
no, Han 2 is about to enter the postseason when they actually start playing for real.
Yeah.
Instead of, I'm going to make a Chiefs analogy as a Chiefs fan. The Chiefs don't care about the regular season. All they care about is the postseason. So Han players are going to actually start trying again.
So what you're saying is they entered, set 5 like the Huskers.
We're not making any Husker comparisons. No. We're not prepared for that.
You've lost me. You've lost me.
Yeah, same. I can
I
say
thought
that.
we were talking about Star Wars.
I can do one cool sick burn, and then I'm out. So, I know. We got someone
for the. Never mind. No Kool-Aid. We're not allowed. No Kool-Aid. I've been burned too much.
Pour some of that Kool-Aid on it. It'll work.
Yeah, we got let's check this tier list out. See what but Michael and Laura, which one, or I'll start with you, Laura. What do you think will be coming up this next week with everything we've seen so far?
I wonder if we'll see more of the Han Blue.
Han Blue? Okay.
I was kind of surprised that it fell off when it did, so I wouldn't be surprised if we see more of it. Especially with its matchup into Boba.
And Towson falling off.
Yeah.
Ooh, that would be, if there's a week to do it, let those Towson players, we're out there watching you, Derek. Remind them that they shouldn't get to have a bunch of favorable matchups. Me. All right, so your win rate on here is Kylo Tarkentown has the highest win rate. That's crazy.
It's completely buffered by the
Those.
GC.
That's fair. Okay.
Because
Oh,
the
gotcha.
GC, the win rate at the GC for Kylo Tarkintown was like 70% or something.
Huh.
Yeah.
Absolutely
Crazy.
outrageous. Yeah. So it
That's
has
sick.
a big buffer. It goes down every week. But
Well,
yeah.
And then Michael, what did you think for this next week of PQs?
I think we're gonna see a lot of Quinlan this next week.
I think it's going to continue to go up on play. I
I think
hope
we're gonna see a shit ton of Quinlan until we figure out until that hits a critical mass, and then I don't know if it'll be the case, but last set Quinlan critical massed, and then all the hate, like the eyeballs turned to it and it crashed, right? Because it can't handle being in the spotlight. But who knows if that's going to be the case? That's my guess.
that's fair. I hope it kind of does, just so we see that this wheel continue to spin. As much as I like Quinlan as a deck, I don't think its play patterns are very healthy. But it's a play style into its own. So
I think it's good when it's a deck. I like when it's a deck that is not the number one deck.
yes, yeah. Let it be on the skirts of like it could be one of the best decks, but like the play percentage, I don't like it being that high.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Just because of what you said, it can be a very discouraging. Like
Yes.
it can be very unfun. Not from a losing or winning perspective at all, just purely from a sit down, have a fun game perspective. There can be some of them where you just don't get to play, and that feels pretty bad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
that's why I think. Yeah, Hantu I think is going to be good because I think the lines for Hantu into Quinlan into Hantu are just more favored for Hantu. I think it's more natural. I think the matchup's actually relatively difficult. The other thing that I could see making a resurgence is some Sabine, and I don't necessarily mean Sabine ECL. I think Sabine Yellow, if people are on that, could come in and surprise us. I think ECL to an extent. My only concern with that is with a lot of the space aggro that just kind of exists. I don't know if you can. I don't know how effective you're going to be having the 25 health base in those matchups.
Yeah, I thought this week going into it would be like a better week for the pilots, and
I did too.
And it didn't show on results. I mean, I know Boba is a pilot, but when I think of the pilots, I think of like your Kazudas, your Poes, your Lord of the Ground ones. But
I was expecting more Kazuda.
that and odd Han. So
yeah,
I think the funny thing with it though too is because we talk so much and emphasize the pilot, right? Like who's the one playing the deck? That is one of the
Yes.
most important situations. And I just feel like a lot of the top players just kind of avoid pilot decks. And if they do play a pilot deck, they're like, well, what's the best pilot deck? Vader. And then they play Vader. Other than that, they're like, they just don't play pilot decks. And so because you just don't have the best pilots week in and week out playing those types of decks, you just don't see them as often, even if I think they're very well suited for.
That's a really good point.
They are honest. Even at the end of the day, like no matter how well they operate, pilot decks are all aggro decks, and they're all honest in one way or the other. And if you can disrupt them the same way you've been able to since set 1, then you can turn the game. But it is a difficult process sometimes. So.
In that vein, it makes me surprised we don't see more people try and build around Luke, the Luke pilot, Luke 4, because he can't be disrupted in the same way as easily.
He did win one
taller
PQ, if I'm not mistaken. Right?
I think he won like a week or two ago.
I thought it was one this weekend. Let's check the meta. Luke Skywalker. I thought he did. Maybe I'm wrong. Yeah.
I think he did last week.
All right.
Yeah.
Good discussion, guys. We're here to do it next weekend or next week, as always. Laura, before we hop off, was there anything you wanted to say? Let's get back to the main one real quick here. There we go.
Hey, look at our faces.
I say we just passed the hour 30 mark, so.
Hey.
Yeah.
No, I'm not sure I have anything else to say. I'm just hoping to get some content out there soon and hoping you guys enjoy it.
Yeah. We'll be sharing and posting it just about everywhere we can, for sure.
Thank you.
Subscribe to the YouTube channel.
Yeah,
Yes.
hit that subscribe button.
Yes. We're like getting ever we're inching our way
Hey,
up,
Steven had to do it too.
up to Steven. I'm not ending this until
He did it.
He did it. He did it.
Okay,
you missed it.
He's a part of it.
Okay. Yep, we're inching our way closer to 100 subs, which will be an awesome little milestone. So if you have any friends, if you just think they like Star Wars, you should send us their way, because that would be really cool.
Or even if they don't, just do it anyways.
And we are kind of perfecting our Discord, so we are making a public Discord. So if anybody wants to join the conversation outside of our YouTube, make sure to drop a comment and we'll get you invited.
Yeah.
Good call.
Yes.
Yeah, we just got that all set up for public access.
Yes. Oh, it's I've finally re-enabled everything, because I'm the one, I like to have everything in one spot. So I did all that, which is perfect. It looks great, you guys. So thank you for doing all that.
Of course.
So
let's pop that link in the.
Yeah, we'll get that set up in there.
The old descriptor. The old descriptor.
All right. With that,
thank you guys for having me.
Yeah, we'll send it all off, and we will see you guys all in the next one. So, bye-bye.
Bye.